Welcome back to the 21 Boom Guided Meditation. This is Coach Zach Feeney. I will be your guide. For anyone who experiences emotional problems that won't go away, the despair and demoralization, the sheer joylessness of depression is never very far away. What if it were possible to learn wholly new skills that allowed you to cultivate a radically different way of working with your mind? Mindfulness training teaches exactly these skills. It gives you back control of your attention so that moment by moment you can experience yourself and the world without the harsh, self-critical voice of judgment that may so often follow you around. Mindfulness means being able to bring direct, open-hearted awareness to what you are doing while you are doing it. Being able to tune in to what's going on in your mind and body and in the outside world moment by moment. The patterns of mind that keep people trapped in emotional suffering are fundamentally the same patterns of mind that stand between all of us and the flowering of our potential for a more deeply satisfying way of being. Our reactions to unhappiness can transform what might otherwise be a brief passing sadness into persistent dissatisfaction and unhappiness. We can distinguish three crucial stages when we look more closely here at what's going on. So stage one is when you feel the unhappiness rising up. Unhappiness arises. Stage two, the unhappy mood brings up negative thinking patterns, feelings, and memories from the past. This makes us more unhappy. In stage three, we try to get rid of the unhappiness in ways that actually keep it going and just make things worse. If you have been depressed in the past, thoughts of self-criticism or of being a failure are much more likely to get switched on by sad moods. Moods and feelings can trigger matching patterns of thinking, memory, and attention, which then make the feelings even more intense and persistent. The good news is that with the right understanding and skills, we can break out of these mood thought vicious cycles. The mind is trying to get rid of unhappiness by thinking its way out of the problem. If we look closely, this is a big part of what's going on here. Ruminating just makes us feel even worse. Far from freeing us from the downward spiral, our attempts to get rid of unhappiness by thinking our way out of it are the very things that can deepen and prolong our sad moods. Problem with persistent and recurrent depression, unhappiness, and exhaustion is not feeling low in the first place. The problem is what happens next. The core problem is how our minds react to feeling low, afraid, angry, or tired. And part of this we'll touch on is the doing mode. And what we see are 7 core features of the doing mode. The human mind can achieve some remarkable goals, from developing computers or to building cities and putting a man on the moon. To solve a problem or to get things done, the mind usually works in certain predictable ways. Take, for example, a day when you have to take a detour from your usual drive home to drop off a package at a friend's house, but you find yourself driving past the point where you meant to turn off into his or her street. After a few moments, you notice the package is still there and realize that this is not what you had intended. You think back, oh, I should have taken the other turn. You think forward, what shall I do next? You work out that the simplest way to sort things out is to turn around and make a deliberate effort this time to turn off at the exit to your friend's house and not just drive straight past it as you normally would. You act on these plans, take the right route, and deliver the package to your friend. And your mission is accomplished. The package eventually arrived at its destination through your mind's use of a very well-rehearsed and familiar mental routine. This routine helps us get things done, achieve goals, solve problems, change things to make them more like what we want them to be. And we call this the doing mode of mind. To work effectively at each point The doing mode has to hold in mind and then compare three ideas: where you are at each moment, which is your current state; where you want to be, your destination, your goal, your desired outcome; and where you don't want to be, your non-destination or outcome that you want to avoid. And there's some features to the doing mode. It often comes online automatically. It uses thoughts and ideas, holding them in mind as you work. It dwells in the past and future to help get where you want to be. It keeps in mind what to avoid, where you don't want to end up. It needs things to be different, forever focusing on the gap between where you are and where you want to be. It takes thoughts and ideas as real. It would not be useful to keep doubting your destination. Left to itself, it continues to focus on the goal until the task is complete, or until you are too tired and depleted to continue. The demands of the doing mode can be quite harsh and unkind. So if doing is so useful, then what goes wrong? The doing mode needs to keep in mind the gap between the kind of person we are and the kind of person we want to be. But this just reminds us how much we are falling short of where we feel we need to be. And this is what creates more unhappiness. Driven doing is the mode of mind where we feel we just cannot let go of trying to get what we want or get rid of what we don't want. Ruminative worry is just one form of driven doing. And so there are two key steps to responding more skillfully: learning to recognize ruminative worry and driven doing as they arise in our moment by moment experience and to see them for what they are, and cultivating an alternative mode of mind that allows us to respond more skillfully to sadness, unhappiness, and other unpleasant emotions and unwanted inner experiences. This is really important. It means we can free ourselves from any problems the doing mode creates by moving into another different mode. We can learn how to shift mental gears. And the good news is we already have a wonderful alternative to the doing mode of mind, and it is the mode of being. And so when we take those traits of the doing mode and we put them up against those traits of, we'll introduce the traits of the being mode. So what we got is living on automatic pilot in the doing mode versus living with conscious awareness and choice in the being mode. Relating to experience through thoughts in the doing mode versus in the being mode, directly sensing experience. In the doing mode, dwelling on and in the past and future versus the being mode, being fully in the present moment. Doing mode, needing to avoid, escape, or get rid of unpleasant experience versus in the being mode, approaching it with interest. In the doing mode, needing things to be different versus the being mode of allowing things to be just as they already are. The doing mode, seeing thoughts as true and real versus in the being mode, seeing them as mental events. In the doing mode, prioritizing goal attainment versus the being mode of sensitivity to wider needs. What did you notice about the overall balance of doing and being in your life? Mindfulness is the awareness that emerges through paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally to things as they are. It allows us to see clearly whatever is happening in our lives. We can be mindful of all and any aspects of our experience: sensations in our bodies, feelings, thinking, seeing, smelling, hearing, touching, and tasting. The quality of mindfulness is not a neutral or blank presence. True mindfulness is imbued with warmth, compassion, and interest. Kindness, warmth, and compassion are essential aspects of mindfulness if it is to transform emotional pain and suffering. Nurturing these qualities of good will counters the qualities of ill will, not wanting, that keep us stuck in emotional distress. Mindfulness practice is the way to cultivate the being mode of mind. Mindfulness is cultivated by gently learning how to pay attention on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally to things as they are. Mindfulness also brings a new way of knowing, a direct, experiential, intuitive knowing, knowing what we are experiencing as we are experiencing it. Mindfulness means we can know our mode of mind from moment to moment. This means we can be aware when we are falling into the grips of the driven doing mode. And at that very moment, mindfulness itself opens the door to the healing and life affirming qualities of being. And mindful awareness is at the heart of all of this. So when it comes time to practice in these settings here, do protect your time for practice. Be firm in carving out and protecting the time you will need to practice, and it really pays dividends. If you are very depressed or life is very chaotic at the moment, or you are in the midst of a major change in your life, it's probably best to wait until you are feeling a bit better or life is a little calmer before you begin, if you aren't doing it already. So, but when you're ready, you're going to want to find a place to meditate. If you need any audio equipment, gathering any sitting equipment. Mindfulness offers us a way to wake up from automatic pilot. Bringing a gentle awareness to an experience changes it. It might become richer, more interesting, or brand new. And it shows us how unaware we are of so much that we do during a typical day. The mind has its own agenda. On automatic pilot, old habits of mind set the agenda and can take us places we might not choose to go. To learn how to wake up to life, we practice three fundamental skills: directing attention, sustaining attention, and shifting attention. Direct attention to the place you want it is to be. Engage. Sustain attention so that it remains in place for the time you want it to stay and explore. Shift attention away when you want it to, so disengaging. So today, we're going to go through a body scan meditation. And the body scan gives you a chance to train in this way while waking up to the actual experience of the body. Lie down or while seated, make yourself comfortable in a place where you will be warm and undisturbed. And allow your eyes to gently close. And take a few moments to get in touch with the movement of your breath and the sensations in the body. When you are ready, bringing your awareness to the physical sensations in your body, especially to the sensations of touch or pressure, where your body makes contact with the floor or whatever you're sitting or lying on. And each out breath, allow yourself to let go, to sink a little deeper into the surface you're sitting or lying on. Remind yourself of the intention of this practice. Its aim is not to feel any different, relaxed, or calm. This may happen or it may not. Instead, the intention of the practice is, as best you can, to bring awareness to any sensations you detect as you focus your attention on each body part of your body in turn. So now bring your awareness to the physical sensations in the lower abdomen, becoming aware of the changing patterns of sensations in the abdominal wall as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Take a few moments to feel the sensations as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Having connected with the sensations in the abdomen, bring the focus or spotlight of your awareness down the left leg into the left foot and out to the toes of the left foot. Focus on each of the toes of the left foot in turn, bringing a gentle curiosity to investigate the quality of the sensations you find. Perhaps noticing the sense of contact between the toes, the sense of tingling, warmth, or no particular sensation. When you are ready on an in breath, feel or imagine the breath entering your lungs and then passing down into the abdomen, into the left leg, the left foot, and out to the toes of the left foot. Then on the out breath, feel or imagine the breath coming all the way back up, out of your foot, into your leg, up through your abdomen, chest, and out through your nose. As best you can, continue this for a few breaths, so breathing down into your toes and back out from your toes. It may be difficult to get the hang of this. Just practice this breathing into as best you can, approaching it playfully. Now, when you are ready on an out breath, let go of your toes and bring awareness to the sensations of the bottom of your left foot, bringing a gentle investigative awareness to the sole of the foot, the instep, the heel, noticing the sensations where the heel makes contact with the surface you're sitting or lying on. Experiment with breathing with the sensations, being aware of the breath in the background, as in the foreground you explore the sensations of your lower foot. Now allow the awareness to expand into the rest of your foot, to the ankle and the top of the foot, and right into the bones and joints. Then taking a slightly deeper breath, directing it down into the whole of your left foot, and as the breath lets go on the out breath, let go of the left foot completely, allowing the focus of awareness to move into your lower left leg, the calf, shin, knee, and so on in turn. Continue to bring awareness and a gentle curiosity to the physical sensations in each part of the rest of your body in turn. To the upper left leg, the right toes, right foot, right leg, pelvic area, back, abdomen, chest, fingers, hands, arms, shoulders, neck, head, and face. In each area, as best you can, bring the same detailed level of awareness and gentle curiosity to the bodily sensations present. As you leave each major area, breathe in to it on the in breath and let go of that region on the out breath. When you become aware of tension or of other intense sensations in a particular part of the body, you can breathe into them, using the in breath gently to bring awareness right into the sensations. And as best you can, have a sense of their letting go or releasing on the out breath. The mind will inevitably wander away from the breath and the body from time to time. This is entirely normal. It is what minds do. When you notice it, gently acknowledge it, noticing where the mind has gone off to, and then gently return your attention to the part of the body you intended to focus on. After you have scanned the whole body in this way, spend a few minutes being aware of a sense of the body as a whole and of the breath flowing freely in and out of the body. If you find yourself falling asleep, you might find it helpful to prop your head up with a pillow, open your eyes, or do the practice sitting up rather than lying down. Feel free to experiment with doing the practice at a different time of day, too. What were you most aware of during the body scan? What were you thinking? What sensations in your body did you notice? What emotions or feelings did you experience? There's no right way for the body scan to be. Our experience is our experience, however that may be. Perhaps, surprisingly, the aim of the body scan isn't to strive for relaxation or any other special state. It doesn't matter what sensations you become aware of. The important thing is that, as best you can, you tune in to the direct sense of the body rather than getting entangled in thinking about it. If you find yourself repeatedly reconnecting with overwhelming emotions from a past traumatic experience, or you find memories of extremely distressing events coming back, it's probably wise to seek further professional help from an experienced counselor or therapist. And you might like to reflect on your own experience of the following common reactions to doing the practice. And noticing any of the following that you might have noticed. Any specific experiences that stuck in your mind, such as judging, sleepiness, calm relaxation, physical discomfort, frustration or boredom, emotional upset, or any other sensations you noticed. It's important to practice being mindful in our everyday lives because that's where we need it. So going forward today, choose one routine activity you do every day and resolve that this week you will bring to it as best you can a fresh quality of deliberate and gentle moment-to-moment awareness, just as you did today. It's best to stay with the same activity each day for the whole week. And you can use one of these examples of activities or something else, like waking up in the morning, drying your body, getting dressed, making coffee, washing the dishes, or loading the dishwasher, taking out the garbage, driving your car, leaving your house, entering your house, going upstairs or going downstairs. It's really good to get this clear. Let's say you choose showering, for example. Then you would pay wholehearted attention to the sensations on your skin as the water makes contact, the warmth of the water, the smell of the shampoo or soap, the sound of the water, and the shifting sensations in the muscles of the arms as you move them to wash your body. Another example, if you choose waking, before you get out of bed, see if it's possible to feel the sensations of touch and pressure where your body contacts the bed or your covers, to pay gentle attention to the movements of the breath for 5 in breaths and 5 out breaths. To open your awareness to the sounds of the morning, to feel the air on your face, and to notice what you see around you. See if it is possible to gently wake up to your experience of life and know what you are doing directly as you are doing it. In itself, mindfulness is not difficult. The challenge in everyday life for all of us is remembering to be mindful. And to finish, here's a quote from William Stafford. Be ready. Starting here, what do you want to remember? How sunlight creeps along a shining floor? What scent of old wood hovers? What softened sound from outside fills the air? Will you ever bring a better gift for the world than the breathing respect that you carry wherever you go right now? Are you waiting for time to show you some better thoughts? When you turn around, starting here, lift this new glimpse that you found. Carry it into evening, all that you want from this day. This interval you spent reading or hearing this, keep it for life. What can anyone give you greater than now, starting here, right in this room, when you turn around?